Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be going over the Synastry chart between Tupac Shakur and Jada Pinkett Smith. I've uncovered some really fascinating energies between the two of them that I don't think anyone else has actually gone over. So I'm going to get started. Her Michatia conjuncts his South Node. So he remembered her from a past life. Michatia means friendship, but this is soul level. It's not just being pals in this lifetime. It's a karmic echo from the past, and it feels very familiar to him. And this could show that she may have been someone that he trusted in a past life, or a kindred soul that he felt safe with. His A Eternitas conjuncts her South Node. And A Eternitas, it means eternity, the concept of forever. She felt like she'd known him forever because she did from their past life. And it's like they're reliving their friendship connections through their eternal friendship. They weren't just remembering each other, they were reuniting. And their bond wasn't born in this lifetime. It was a memory carried over from previous incarnations, and it was something that was remembered in this lifetime. It felt very familiar to both of them due to the South Node connections. And the cherry on top of this is that her Mars conjuncts his Agapanor. And that is a deep, unwavering bond, and her energy sparked devotion in him, in an unconditional love and a true friendship, because that's the energies of Agapanor. So this wasn't just chemistry. It was something that was really timeless. His Astarte and Psyche conjuncts her Vertex and Amor. Astarte is the goddess of love, war, and sexual passion. And if she gets rejected or wounded, she doesn't cry or get upset. She starts a war, a holy war. And it could be explosions. But Jada, she didn't just love him. She recognized him due to the South Node connections in her heart because of Amor here. And she felt it in her soul because of his Psyche conjuncting her Vertex and Amor. Now, Astarte here, like I said, has to do with volcanic eruptions. And when Tupac's Astarte and Psyche's conjuncting her Vertex, this can translate into volcanic explosions, a soulful storm in a way that just brings a lot of soulful storms. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's the energies here. And maybe she did at one point reject him, maybe sexually, but not for long, I don't think, because Pluto's going to show up here and make an entrance. Now, her Mercury and her Juno conjuncts his Sappho and Destin. And Sappho has to do with high eroticism. It has the energies of the arts and literature. So her Mercury in Virgo, she's got this sharp, detail-oriented way of thinking, and she thinks between the lines. She listens, and she's very analytical. But Juno is holding hands with her Mercury. Her Juno is conjuncting his Sappho and Destin. So there's this a very strong, soulful union, and Juno has to do with marriage, but in this case, it's a sacred union, a togetherness, and a commitment. And so there's also mental intimacy between the two of them, and I think that it's very powerful. But I think she told him, she admired him, she admired his talent for his writing, for the arts, for his literature, and all of the things that he embodied with his music and being talented in that way. And it was destiny. She told him, because Mercury is a thinking and talking planet. So she must have said to him, this is destiny, and I admire you, and I'm committed to this friendship and this sacred union that we have. So this is really nice. Now, here comes Pluto. His Pluto conjuncts her Sun and her Pluto, and Venus conjuncts his Lilith. His Pluto conjuncts her Venus in Libra. Wow. This is where obsession, power, and sexual desire come crashing in. It's like, this is like a moth to a flame energy, and she may have felt consumed by his presence and was, even when he wasn't around. And with her Pluto and Venus conjuncting his Lilith, this is like one of the strongest indicators of deep carnal desire and forbidden passion. It's seductive and primal. And her Venus is domicile in Libra. So this energy is strongest here because Venus is ruled by Libra. And Pluto in Synastry is not casual. It's very powerful and erotic and sexual. So also her Icarus conjuncts his Lilith as well. And that's added heat to this mix, because Icarus has to do with rash and impulsive behavior. And his Venus trines her Pluto. This has to do with strong magnetic attraction and passion. I find it extremely hard to believe that these two were just friends. I would put money on the fact that they were intimate. This is just way too strong. Pluto, like I said, does not mess around. And when you've got all of these aspects, especially to her Venus in Libra, passion and magnetic forces that I don't think they could control. Now, his Mercury conjuncts her Erato, and this Erato has to do with poetry, writing, and love letters. So this communication between the two of them, he wrote her letters because Mercury is the thinking and the talking and the communication planet. So he expressed his feelings to her in a heartfelt, poetic sort of way, very likely through letters, intimate conversations with a very soulful flair to it. And maybe she probably still has those letters. I would bet that she still has them. She's not going to say anything about that. She's released some pictures, but I'm going into the backstory here. I mean, I'm going behind the scenes and telling you what I see between the two of them. And since his Mercury is in Gemini, which is also domicile, Mercury is ruled by Gemini, this energy is very strong here. Now also, her Pallas conjuncts his Venus and Amor. So she brought wisdom into their relationship, and he loved the advice that she gave him. Venus is the love planet, and Amor is there as well. So we have, there's a very strong love between the two of them with good advice and wisdom. Now his Sun and Amichatia, here comes Amichatia again, conjuncts her Melpomene and Angel. This is very telling because this is a friendship where he saw tragedy and offered light. And their bond was not only deep, but spiritually guided as well, because Angel in this mix is part tragic and part divine due to Melpomene being there. And Melpomene has to do with tragedy. So there's a tragic sort of love, but she gave him spiritual guidance because her Angel is conjuncting his Sun. And she was his best friend. And this is like heaven sent energy. Now, his Uranus conjuncts her Sappho and Lilith. That's a lightning bolt strike to her raw sexual desires. Rebellious passion, untethered and unpredictable. There's no way that they were just friends with this aspect. All of a sudden, out of the blue, I could see them succumbing to their passionate desires due to all of those Pluto aspects that I just went over. Now, his Neptune falls into her 12th house and conjuncts her ascendant. So this is the kind of connection that doesn't speak in words. it shows up in dreams because the 12th house has to do with subconscious or unconscious. It's the last house in the zodiac wheel, and it's like a deja vu connection between the two of them. I'm sure that they were like, oh my gosh, we've known each other in a past life, and they did because of the South Node connections that I went over. And with him, there's a spiritual undercurrent. Like, he taps into parts of her that she doesn't fully understand, and there's hidden secrets here between the two of them that they don't tell anyone, or they didn't tell anyone, because the 12th house is naturally ruled by Neptune. His Saturn, Venus, and Amor conjuncts her descendant and Calliope. With Saturn in this mix, this is like a karmic agreement. He reflected back to her the poetry in her soul due to Calliope, the muse of writing and poetry. And if she did write him letters, which I'm sure that she did, he loved them because of Venus conjuncting Calliope, and it came from a place of truth wrapped in longing. And with Saturn present here on both sides, this was really a lesson in timing and commitment, because we have a Saturn-Venus conjunction as well. So their love here was serious, I think, and he loved whatever she wrote. Due to Venus and more, this is really like a double dose of love, strong on both sides, really, and a test of commitment and how they related to each other, the karmic lessons that they had to go through. But also his Sphinx conjuncts her descendant as well. And this gives another little added twist to the story, because this is a bond of mystery and challenge. He was the riddle that she couldn't quite figure out. And she didn't want to walk away from him either. She needed to find out where the relationship was going, what it was really about. There was an enigma about him that she couldn't quite put her finger on, and it wasn't just about love. It was about uncovering hidden truths and secrets whispered only between the two of them. And there were, a lot of secrets, I think, due to the Neptune overlaying into the 12th, like I explained before. But one of the most fascinating parts of this story, well, I think everything about this is fascinating, but this one, his asteroid Saga conjuncts her son. So he became part of her identity and her story, because Saga has to do with long stories. So their connection wasn't just a chapter. It was really a sequel continued from their past. His life, his voice, and his presence. She carries his myth as a part of her own light. And even now, that his story, it still resonates with her, and it still moves. His story still moves through her. So that is all I have today, and I will be back shortly with other Synastry charts. So if you're interested, please hit the like, share, and subscribe, and please leave me a comment and let me know how you what you thought about this Synastry between Jada and Tupac, and I will be back shortly with other Synastry charts. So see you soon, and have a nice day.